Hi, welcome. Welcome back to Make It with Mod Podge. My name's Cathie Fillion, and today I'm going to be working with one of my favorite formulas of Mod Podge. That is the Fabric formula. It's going to come in the blue label container, and this formula is awesome for attaching fabric to fabric. You can also use it fabric to wood or metal or anything like that, but it's perfect for fabric to fabric, and it is washable once it's finished. I'm going to show you this fun, cute summer tote. You can use that same idea to create little zipper bags like this. These make great little gifts for yourself too. And I'm going to show you what you can do with some of those scraps just to create some of these tattered applique hats. Now for today's project, I am actually using a cloth napkin because I fell in love with this print, and I just was like, okay, I'm just going to use napkins. But you can use any fabric that you want. So go to the craft store, find your favorite fabric, find some napkins, cut up some old thrift store clothes, just find a print that you love and grab some Fabric Mod Podge, and you can create these fun summer ideas. So let's dive right in to how we make these projects. Okay, we're gonna start with our summer tote bag. And for the summer tote bag, we're using our napkin and a little bit of this cool blue trim. And the first thing that you're gonna do is prep out your fabric. So what you want to do, well, let's talk about our blank first. So I've got a blank tote bag. You can pick up these blanks at the craft store. You can find them at big box stores. You can really make over any tote bag that you want. This one happens to have this seamed section here. So for my design, I'm planning on using that seam section just as a design stopping point. So what we're gonna do is go ahead, I've cut my napkin to size, well, roughly to size, and I wanna go ahead and iron over and glue down my edges. And so to do that, I'm going to start by lining it up here at the top and seeing how much I wanna fold over. Okay, now we'll just move our bag out of the way, and we'll go ahead and press that down with an iron. You could pin it or use your fingers and just do like sort of a pinch and press down, but my fabric here is a little bit thicker, so it's definitely gonna need a little bit of heat from an iron. So you just go ahead and press that top edge down, and that's just creating a nice finished edge so it's not gonna ravel on the top. And once you have that ironed down, you'll go ahead and put your bag back into position, and we'll line this edge up across the top like so. And now we'll fold over to our line to see where we want to iron that back. And you know what, we can just go ahead and iron it directly on here. Get that folded over, press down, and do a little bit more over here. Now, each one of these, these bags are sewn. They're sewn pretty straight, but sometimes I find that they're a little bit off. So it's just best to sort of eyeball it. You can measure if you want, but I think you'll find that you'll do fine just by ironing like that. Okay, now we want to trim up our sides a little bit. So let's go ahead and trim a little bit off of this edge. So I don't want to fold too much over. We're basically just going to fold in all of our edges. Go ahead and line that back up, and let's see, let's iron it to the middle of the blue. So we'll go ahead and fold that and iron that down. We're gonna glue all of this down with the Fabric Mod Podge. So this is a no-sew tote bag makeover. And we'll line it back up again, very simple. And we'll fold that over to the cream line. Get that put into position, and then just press that down. It's super easy. And really the Fabric Mod Podge is gonna do all the work as far as gluing it down. Okay, this is my little makeshift ironing board. Go ahead and get rid of that. And now I'm gonna put down a little bit of wax paper. You could use parchment paper or any kind of silicone mat that you might use. We're going to use our Fabric Mod Podge formula. This is the blue label, And we're gonna glue down those seams that we just ironed into position. So we'll just go ahead. This is a much thicker formula. Remember, this is fabric to fabric and it's machine washable. I wash on cold and I hang dry. So sometimes when I'm doing home decor projects, like I might be doing a fabric covered lampshade, I don't worry about top coating or anything like that because I know I'm not gonna wash the project. So let's go ahead and just go right across that strip, adding the Fabric Mod Podge. And a little bit more there. And then we'll just fold over. And just kind of tap it down. You can see how pre-ironing that really helps make it have that smooth, nice finished edge. All right, and I'm just gonna repeat the same thing on all the sides. Okay, now that all of my sides are Mod Podged down, I'm going to attach our piece of prepped out fabric to the bag using the same Fabric Mod Podge. So let's go ahead and get it lined up, make sure we have our seams where we want them. And I think we are looking pretty good. Now for this project, I'm going to match my seam across the bottom because I am going to be adding some trim across the top. So if I was off by a tiny bit, that trim would cover that up. So whichever seam you're gonna have be the most visible, make sure you line that one up first. Now you could put your trim along the bottom if you wanted to. You can layer up different trims. You know, it's really the sky's the limit. And we're gonna be using the same Fabric Mod Podge to attach our trims. And it's super simple. All I'm gonna do is add our Fabric Mod Podge to the back of our fabric and then we'll just glue it down. So let's get applying. Okay, we've got our first bit of fabric down. See how easy that was? And this is machine washable. So once again, I usually hang dry, but you will be able to wash this. And I like to wash it in cold also. All right, it looks like we are pretty good. If you noticed, I made extra attention to get lots of our Fabric Mod Podges on our corners and across our top and bottom seams. So now I want to show you how you can easily attach some trim. And for our trim, I want to just go across the top here. So I will just cut off a small piece, just like so. And we'll do the same thing. Let's go ahead and fold over our wax paper so we have a clean surface. We're going to just glue a little bit of it back. And we're gonna glue that with the same Fabric Mod Podge. So we'll just add a little bit of Fabric Mod Podge there and we'll fold it over. Now I'm just gonna press and hold with my fingers. Sometimes I add a little clothespin there or something like that you might need to hold it into position. Now let's go ahead and measure for the other sides. Line that up there, go across our top, and I think we can trim even a little bit more off. There we go. And add a little bit of our Mod Podge. So if you're just joining us, we're working with the fabric formula today. That is Fabric Mod Podge. That's going to be our blue label. Go ahead and press. There we go. Now we'll just go ahead and add our Fabric Mod Podge to the top of our trim. This is a fringy trim, so I'm just adding it to the top, and it is plenty strong to hold this into position. Now it's very thick and milky looking, but it's gonna dry clear. It also dries with a bit of gloss, so you do wanna be mindful not to have too much of the Mod Podge spilling over because it will leave a little glossy mark. But you can quickly clean that up with just a baby wipe or a little paper towel and water before it dries if you want to get rid of it, if you have a little extra going over. Okay, I think we're pretty good there. All right, let's go ahead and get this part glued down. This is the hardest part, just picking it up. You don't want to drop it. Get that into position and center it and glue that fringy down. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and let this dry overnight. I like to have it dry a good like 24, even to 48 hours, drying flat, really giving the Fabric Mod Podge enough time to cure. And once it's dry and ready to go, look at how cute your custom little tote bag is. So simple and so easy. Now again, I use these fun napkins because I found them and I fell in love with them, but you can use any fabric that you want. You can even cut up old t-shirts and create some cool like rock and roll designs. It's endless. Just find the fabric that you want. Now these bags, these are at all the craft stores. You can get bag blanks in all different kinds of colors and sizes. So I have a fun idea, just a quick idea to show you with what you can do with some of your leftover fabric. Oh, before I do that, I did want to show you one other design. So at the craft stores, they all have these different little blank zipper bags as well. These are great to go inside your bag. So if you're doing a gift for someone, you know, you could do a coordinating interior bag, something like that. And this is the same exact technique, but instead of doing the trim across the top, I just did some of this yellow kind of faux palm trim right across the bottom. Super easy to do, and it creates such a cute look together. So these make great gifts. All right, if you have some scraps, I made these for my girls, and I love, for these, I'm not gonna iron and fold over the edge. If you wanted to, you easily could do that. You could cut your heart shape and iron it over and create that nice finished edge. But I sort of wanted this kind of rugged, kind of rustic look. So I like the little frayed look. So for that, I've just got a little piece of my napkin left over. I'm gonna fold it in half, really quick, simple fold. And then let's see, let me fold it this way. I don't know why. For some reason, I always work with the print in. And let's just try to cut a quick heart. Hopefully, I cut a good one. Sometimes when I'm live shooting them, it's a little hard to get something perfect because I've got a lot I'm concentrating on. There we go. Let's see if that's too big. I may have to cut it a little bit small. Yes, we have to cut that smaller. All right, let's cut our heart a little bit smaller. You could do any shape. You could cut out, you know, a letter S for Sophia, anything like that. There we go. Fun little heart shape there. And it's just the same thing. We're just gonna apply our Fabric Mod Podge to the back. And these are gonna be some cute hats. My girls are starting summer camp today. And boy, has it been a long school year. So I'm thinking that I'll be able to give them these hats. They've got some field trips coming up. These will be really fun if you've got family vacations going on and you're doing some theme parks or things like that. You can get some fun fabric that matches your favorite characters. Put some heart patches on with your favorite princesses or your favorite superheroes. Go ahead. The hats conveniently come with a seam down the center. Let me just go ahead and push that into position. And again, I like the little frayed edge because I wanted that kind of, you know, not so perfect look. But if you wanted a finished edge, you would just iron that over. There we go. And you stick it on. Now, same thing. I'm going to let this dry for a couple of days. And once it's dry, you've got these cute custom hats just using up your scraps. And look at how fun, if you wanted to do this, again, let's say you're going to one of your big theme parks, you can make a whole custom look just by using some of that cute licensed fabric that's out there, or you can be like me and grab a favorite fabric napkin and create some fun summer looks. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I hope that you've learned a little bit more about Fabric Mod Podge and some fun projects that you can make with it. I'll be back here next Thursday on Facebook and Saturdays on YouTube with more great Mod Podge projects. Make sure you use the hashtags Mod Podge and Plaid Crafts so everybody back at Plaid can see what you're making. Have a great day.